Like, oh yeah, we did all of that shitty things, but we are pro-homosexuals, by the way.
No, they definitely put gay people in camps and stuff too. I mean, back then
To just cheer it up.
Yo, did you get that? Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to Did You Get That? I'm Gaweł Feliga. I want to cut straight to the conversation, the bits and the riffs, but this is the first episode, so I guess some context is in order. Episode 1, I sat down with Badr Laffar and Dave Rygielski, two of my comedy brothers. Well, I don't know, maybe we're not that close yet. Comedy cousins. Let's call them comedy cousins. Two funny guys that I've gotten to know through going to all these open mics and shows in English that we've been doing in Warsaw, and plenty more in the works. So, subscribe to the podcast for more episodes. There's going to be guests from other cities and probably other countries now and then. And come to the live shows. Follow That English Comedy Show on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram or whatever to hear about dates. Links in the description. We got a night of 3 shows coming up this Friday. So right now, basically, this Friday, the 22nd, in Boho on Żurawia 22. That's Żurawia Street at Boho this Friday. All right, normally I'd ramble and improvise a bit more, but we got a pretty long episode ready. It's just sitting there. So keep in touch on the socials. Come check us out on stage, and let's roll the tape. Hey.
How would you differentiate between dried cum and... Do you get to smell it? Or
Taste test.
Tasteless?
Taste test.
Oh! Have you tasted cum before?
Have you not?
No.
I was trying to elicit that. Yeah, I came in my own mouth once. Not like trying. That shouldn't be very difficult, but by accident.
No, but like by accident, have you?
Yeah. I was on a first date with a girl.
Yeah.
And then, we're laying on the sides next to each other, and she's jerking me off, and I just kind of
No way!
It was literally the equivalent of going...
You literally shot this.
Yeah, there's some funny shit, bro. But I laughed so hard I didn't swallow, so... Yeah, man.
Yo, shit!
You're not probably going to use that, right?
Sure.
Okay, let me see. Maybe the magic of... 1, 2, 3... Oh, that's much better. Sweet. Okay, I guess that works. It sounds fucking weird, but it's better than nothing. All right, guys. All right, let's do this. We have a real international meeting of the minds here. This is amazing. I'm so excited about the sort of worldly knowledge and opinions we could elicit today. No, nothing. Okay, that's
3 people, only 2 passports at this table.
Yeah, my passport is worthless, man.
Yeah. Why is it worthless?
It's because it's of diplomatic reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most logical answer that I can give right
because
now.
of the country that it's from, or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is the origin, is the source,
right,
of the country. Yeah.
Do you? I don't know how many details you want to reveal about your legal status or whatever, but
Number 1 hint: the passports are waterproof.
Correct.
I still don't know where that came from. It was supposed
because
to be...
he showed me 2 of his passports.
Yeah.
And the old one, they were stuck together, right?
Right.
And he was like, in front is the old one, and the back is the new one. And I went through the old one, and it's paper, right?
Yeah.
And then I go through to the new one, and it's like plastic, modern passport. And I go like, why are they different, bro? And he goes, that's all it for us.
Just a nicer paper.
Yeah.
It's waterproof.
It's just waterproof so you can get out.
Yeah. Have you guys been? You have a chance to travel at all lately? But no, you're just working hard.
He
trying to be.
He can leave, but he can't come back in, right? Is that how it works?
True.
Yeah.
That's fucked, bro.
I cannot leave Poland.
Right.
Yeah.
But because your status is unresolved or something.
It's still in processing.
Under investigation.
It's still under investigation.
Okay.
It's been a year.
Did they try to throw you out and you're appealing? Basically, is like,
true. Yeah.
Look at this. We cannot get rid of this wonderful Arab cock. Why would you throw someone? The ladies love it. I have to wait for a female administrator so she understands my plight. No, but okay, yeah. I guess that's the trouble a lot of people have. But since we're on the subject, I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Do you have any stupid stories or something? Did you have to deal a lot with Polish bureaucracy when you first moved here or whatever? You got the visa or whatever because you went to school, right?
What's bureaucracy?
Bureaucracy is like okay. Oxford Dictionary B for bureaucracy. It's just like all the administrative bullshit, usually often in a negative light, that you have to deal with when doing any kind of official stuff, like getting a passport to even a driver's license as a citizen, or you have to deal with bureau. I guess it's not that hard anymore. But if you want to like get a permit on your land so you could build a strip club there, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of bureaucracy.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you're not opening a strip club.
No,
not yet.
Not anytime soon. I'm just a student.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
with students, I'm just like a peasant with like anyone else.
It's not that it's a difficult process. They just said no.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
That's another story. No, I think it's difficult when you initially,
because
right?
I
When
have
you
a
can't
lawyer.
get you have a
And
lawyer.
he's a
Oh,
white
wow.
lawyer too.
Is he Jewish?
Actually, I don't know, but I kind of suspected.
I guess people in
suspect-
Poland tend to conceal that fact, so maybe he's not.
Yeah.
He's not an out Jew.
He didn't
still
come out
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
He's a closet Jew.
No, okay.
Kind of the term changed from
Yeah.
World War.
No, I
I mean,
always.
back then they were also closet Jews.
Closet Jews.
But literally.
Yeah.
Closet Jews.
No, I think it's a scene in The Wire or something. I always think of like, there's that scene where one of the guys is like, that you definitely need a Jew lawyer. Like, any other lawyer is no good. You want a Jew lawyer, otherwise he's not gonna get you out or whatever.
He's gonna bargain.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? You don't have any legal issues being here, do you? Do you have dual citizenship?
Yeah, I do. But I feel like they still kind of don't know I'm here, which is good. I like it this way. It's probably shouldn't be telling this.
we can cut this part.
It's like I read sometimes like, oh, after moving to a new place, you have to register legally within 3 months. I'm like, oh shit, word, you have to do that.
Wait, you have to register.
You have to zameldować się. You have to tell them. Yeah, no, right? Fuck that shit.
I don't think that's true anymore.
It's
Maybe for foreign travel.
No,
because it's just it's
everyone.
no, but
Everyone, yeah.
But they changed it now. You don't have to like whatever address you put on your ID or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's the same now. You don't have to do that separately anymore.
Yeah, but you have to update them if you move. That's like
I guess so. Maybe technically, yeah, because of taxes
clearly
or whatever.
not a big deal.
Yeah,
and also if you don't update it, I'm gonna find you.
Yeah, it's it'd be funny if there was like I'd love it if it was like some Scotland Yard motherfuckers came down here looking for you. Where's that big old British oaf? We need more big genes of big people. Wait, what's the average height in the UK? Would you say, or like, is it the same as here?
No, it's less.
It's less.
Yes,
It's less. There's a lot of short men.
Because of tiny Irish.
Whatever.
No,
because
I
of
don't
whatever.
know.
There's a lot of like really short, angry men, which is very funny. Like
Yeah.
they look like they've been made with a micro penis or something. It's fucking. Like here, it's not such a thing. Short guys.
No.
I think here, like the proportion of short guys can be covered by the short women, but I feel like out there's a lot more short guys than there are short women, and there's a lot of frustration. Therefore, school shootings.
Explained it all.
Wow. Wow, you just
Bang.
cracked it, man.
Explained it all in
So
30
being
seconds.
an incel is actually a genetic condition.
I see.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Do you know what this motherfucker did on the way here, the Uber?
What?
I opened the door on one side because I'm coming from the shop with a hot dog and a drink. And I put my bag in and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like that scene in the movie where I closed the door in the driveway with my bag. And that's exactly what he did.
Whoa.
I closed the door and the guy starts going, hey, kurwa, gościu! And he's still like 10 meters down the road. Because I think he noticed everyone on the street like looking around like, what's going on? It's fucked.
Did you start chasing him? Or
Yeah, of course I started chasing him, bro.
With the hot dog?
With the hot dog.
Did it fall?
No,
You have a good grip.
I have a strong grip. Yeah, man. But I like how you're like we were meant to be here at 12, right? Yeah. And I like how Arab you are. That you called me when I was 20 minutes late. You were like, "Hey Dave, you're gonna be late." like I was still 20 minutes early in
You
Syrian
still got
time.
it.
Yeah.
You still have time. You're not
Yeah,
late
it was-
yet.
Right, that makes sense. No, we were waiting politely. We thought you were going to be. I mean, it would be entirely normal for one of us to be at least 15 minutes late. Even me. Like I was half expecting. I went to sleep so late that I was half expecting one of you to wake me up. But no, not this time.
No.
You were just in Budapest, Dave. Yeah.
Yes, I was.
How was that? What were the highlights?
The comedy was the highlights. So
Did you? How many different clubs did you see there?
I did 2 bars.
Yeah.
All kind of bars, but one of them was like good for comedy. The other 2 were just like, we do open mics here because nothing else goes on Tuesday.
Yeah, like a donut shop or something.
Close enough.
Yeah.
No, it's just like there were bars, but not the right setup. You
Yeah.
know, like one of them had the stage in the corner. Like, so the bar has 2 corners facing the 2 streets, right? Has all these windows and all these doors, and the stage is in that corner, like between all the entrances. So shit like that. And then another was in a bar that was in an escape room. So you have the stage, and next to the stage you have the staircase and the entrance. So everyone that comes in just comes in, walks past the stage.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
That's great. You can always tell when it's an afterthought that they're having shows there. Like it's just another thing they're doing. It's
But
not,
is it good for anything? For like music? For anything? Or these people
Probably
just
not.
stupid? Like,
I think for music you don't need as much concentration, and people don't care if somebody's walking past the stage or whatever.
yeah, but why
Whereas
would you
if-
put the stage on the other side,
I
right?
don't
Away
know.
from the entrance? And then even more
You didn't
so,
ask them that?
so here you go, the stage, and then it curves round like this, and there's the bar. So if you sit at the back here, like past the corner, you don't hear shit. You just hear the bar. Like these people thought of anything?
Okay.
No.
Did you go to an actual comedy club? Because I think
There isn't such a thing.
no. Did they
No,
close all
said,
of them?
They said
I think there was at
there
least
is
one or
now
2.
one in Hungarian that opened up, and it's like the
Okay.
first thing ever over there. Like their scene is, I think, younger than the Polish one, and kind
I
of
don't
less
think so.
developed.
I don't
It
think.
fucking seemed like it, boys.
What?
It seemed like it.
Okay, maybe you're right. No, I can't. It wouldn't matter anyway. I can't remember the name of it right now. But the place where you recorded, because we recorded Comedy Central basically for them a few years back, and it was in like a pretty big venue that had comedy regularly. But maybe it's fucking closed by now.
Maybe it's
I wouldn't be
closed.
surprised.
Then the last place on Thursday, it was an actual comedy show. Someone that came from Vienna, a guy called Jack Holmes, English guy. Do you know Jack Holmes?
I've heard of him, I'm sure, but
He was in Poland. I remember he was doing a gig in Poland back when I was just starting out, so about 2.5 years ago or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, but Andy linked us up, so he let me jump on, and that was a nice place. That was a place. It had about over 60 people probably that came to laugh, like that came clearly with sensory deprivation, like they haven't had shit to do in some time.
Yeah.
Like some people were saying, "Oh, it's our first show in a year and a half." So great. And yeah, I had a great time at all of them. All of them had audiences that were, came there just to sit there.
Yeah.
But the last one was actually a good venue as well. And I was talking to the owner. It can fit, few more people, maybe 80, 90. And then he's got a couple more opening in other cities.
Yeah.
So I think when we go, we go.
Oh, we go hard.
We go hard.
You're gonna smoke them out.
I was just showing Badr some clips from, or just one clip from George W. Bush for some reason, because we were talking about 9/11 as you do with
It's
Arabs,
of course.
obviously.
Papa bless.
Yo, it's a tragic. I could never forget.
No, I was watching the series on Netflix, which is
good, isn't it?
it's
Yeah,
pretty good
it's
actually. It's good. It's fairly well rounded. But yeah, I was
I have
telling.
never seen Americans suffering in such HD. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's a interesting aside, or it's funny you mentioned that, because when I was watching that, I was just thinking it's going to be so, or already is, but within a matter of year or two, it's going to be so easy to falsify video material from like the early 2000s because of the quality is like so shit compared to HD and 4K. I think it's going to be really easy to just, use
replicate it or something with
deep
AI.
fakes and all this stuff, because it's just like grainy digital video, and usually sometimes it's not even archived that well. Like a lot of, you think that all the stuff that they put on the news and shit, it's like backed up somewhere. No, it's not. Half of it is.
But what is
it's
it?
gone. But
It's film that you can rescale, right? That looks good.
Yeah,
if you shoot it on film instead of tape.
If
is
you
that what it is?
take your time and you have the resources, you could make film look really good. Whereas, like, if you have a digital recording that's like 720 or less, it's just gonna always kind of look up like shit. So that's why they end up always like usually showing it in a smaller frame instead of blowing it up, because if you blew it up, it just looks like garbage. So, but that makes me think that like it's gonna be hard to tell those deep fake. If anybody wants to do that for some reason, like it would be really easy to make.
This is a fucking make. Like people believe that 5G masts give them COVID.
Well,
like what's the difference in making if it looks real or not? You people are spastics. Like
No, that's a good point. But like when I saw it was like an early deep fake of Obama, and I think it was like even a entertainment company or somebody that did it. I can't remember who it was. So it was somebody doing the voice, and the voice wasn't like 100%, but they did the whole animation of the face, and it looked like. I think at least 50% of people that are especially not familiar with like technologies, they'll be like, "Oh, that's Obama saying whatever the fuck that was, like some stupid joke."
Well, I saw people reposting a picture. Not that I saw people I know reposting a picture, but I saw a picture reposted by thousands of Americans that said, on 9/11, Donald Trump, rolled up his sleeves and was helping down survivors down the stairs.
No, he
while
didn't.
President Obama sat in the Oval Office with his feet up.
What?
7 years became president. He was just sitting in the Oval Office with his feet up.
I bet he was high as fuck.
Bro,
that's funny.
Not being stereotypical, but anyways, back
Obama
to the
was high as fuck.
yeah.
No, he was one of the most open about smoking weed, I think, so far as presidents go. But yeah, anyway.
With the deepfake thing, it's gonna be very good for most of the countries for like presidents, because most of the presidents, they literally don't know how to talk.
Yeah,
true.
And you can just literally, they can say something very stupid and then deep fake it for him to say to make it actually make sense.
They're gonna just
Stuttering like a
revise
retard,
stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But I think most of the American presidents have been like decent public speakers. Well, compared to the average,
the Americans get a lot of training, but
It's
look at
circus,
the
so they
Polish
have
guy.
to-
Like, have you got this since you said performing on stage? You look at politicians and you think, "What a fucking idiot! I could say that so much with like
so much more better than him."
Yeah, that's not it doing what they're doing, right? I can say that so much better.
But no, definitely. I think part of the reason is that's not how you get elected in Poland, or maybe for a president or somebody else. But then like all those other fucks in parliament or whatever, they kind of get voted in through party politics and stuff. Whereas American president, they have to be touring the whole country and be on CNN the whole time. So you got to say, you don't have to be eloquent. You just have to say some shit that people like. That's all.
Yeah, I noticed that with Trump.
Yeah.
So hence the Bush going, "We're going to smoke him out. We're going to smoke him out." I thought it was one occasion when somebody made a compilation of him saying it like 5 times, and then a clip of a Western movie from like black and white saying the same thing.
Because we all love Chappelle Show, yeah, and Black Bush, and he said, "If I can be real, son, be real, son." That tried to kill my father. Yeah, I didn't know that was real. Bush actually said that. He's like, "They tried to kill my daddy." He actually, this real. He actually said that,
And he said, "Daddy."
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. No, there was definitely, there's definitely some, I don't think I saw that, but it makes sense. There's definitely some familial revenge ties there or whatever. They also made fun of Bush Sr. a lot for like being soft or whatever. And that was part of the reason I think he went as hard on Saddam the first time as he did, because he wanted to prove that he was tough and all this shit. So his son, he totally filled those shoes, I think, after 9/11, because it was easy to just be aggressive.
You want to talk about deep fakes? I went to Budapest. They had a statue of Ronald Reagan, just like casual Ronald Reagan walking in the street statue. That was 6'8". He was taller than me.
Funny.
Ronald Reagan taller than me.
That's so weird that they make, instead of making them just 1-to-1 scale, they got to make them like 1.5.
Yeah.
Make them seem even
Still
cooler.
can't take pictures with the elbow on Ronald Reagan's head.
Yeah.
Man. I don't understand why that guy has statues anywhere.
It's crazy.
but
He has statues
he's in Poland,
everywhere.
in
He
Warsaw
has,
as well.
Yeah, Wrocław
He's
has
a fucking whole
has a
square.
roundabout
Fuck.
in his name. I don't know. They give him credit for like destroying communism, I guess.
Wait, did he?
No.
It wasn't
It's
him.
the Pope that did that.
Exactly. A Polish fucking pope, not so fucking mook
Yes.
from fucking wherever Reagan is from. California, probably.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, no, he was just, he was like part of the whole,
No, he's one of the most
vibe
violent people
changed.
on the planet. Like, he started the war on drugs,
Yeah.
which wasted however much money and however many lives. And then he deregulated the American stock market, which is why the world is imploding every 10 years now.
yeah.
Like,
I think it was Nixon.
that's
that
his
started
legacy.
Yeah. No, definitely.
No, but he went hard.
He
That's
did.
the
Oh,
guy.
yeah, it was
That's their guy.
Yeah.
And now we have, 5% inflation right now. Have
Oh,
you
no,
noticed
it's
that
much
the
more than
burgers
that,
in
but-
McDonald's go up 20 groszy every month? Like, if you notice that shit,
I haven't-
boys, we're spiraling out of control right now.
I
The
haven't.
McDouble is $6.90. We are spiraling it out of control.
Yeah. That's wild. I haven't even noticed that, but you're right. They actually use that as a metric in the U.S. for like economic levels, or like what you can buy at McDonald's. Is
Ask me how much a loaf of bread costs. I
You're
don't
like,
fucking
God,
know.
but a Big Mac. Yeah.
But McDonald's.
Yeah, man.
What about in Budapest? You didn't do too many like political jokes or whatever. 'Cause I'm always wondering.
I don't
about
want to ruin
the-
my jokes
about
for
the
when we go
climate,
back there.
Sure,
but the one they loved the I wrote a bunch of jokes about Budapest because you know me, I see things, I got the joke.
Yeah.
But the first one they loved the most that I wrote the first, we're literally like walking to the hotel and my girlfriend's like, "Why are you walking so slow? Come on, we're not even in a hotel yet." And I'm just like, I got one. And the joke is, yeah, man, I like Budapest. I like your city. It's a very beautiful city. It's like Paris if the Nazis never left.
oh shit!
They love that one the most. Very, very good, heartwarming joke.
So you think they were laughing about authoritarians in power or whatever? 'Cause I was wondering,
yeah.
like,
But I mean, there's two angles, right? One is the authoritarians in power, and the second one is
that it was never destroyed.
it wasn't destroyed
Yeah,
that
yeah.
much. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's very beautiful. Like the city center, the buildings, it's like you know, in Warsaw, we say like, "Oh, look at that building, so beautiful. It survived the war." There, it's every building's like that. They're
Right,
fucking
yeah.
beautiful. But you go 10 minutes outside the city center, and it's 1998 Poland again.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's like the older apartment blocks in Poland before they painted them all the pastel colors. They're at that stage. Before they haven't painted their apartment blocks yet. They're at that stage of economic Eastern European progress. Yeah,
They're still in the
Nice.
in the denial phase. No,
Mm.
maybe communism will come back. Let's not change things too quickly.
Let's keep it the way it was.
Yeah.
yeah. The
In
roads,
case somebody else invades.
yeah.
Yeah, that's ew. I'm not gonna invade that. Just move on to the next.
Yeah, that would be funny if the Soviets were like they only invade based on their preference of style of buildings. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That's
I don't
how
think
used
Poland
to-
would have ever been invaded. It's just the shit, the shit we had.
I used to back in the day when I was in school. All of my friends were Egyptians,
Yeah.
and
Where
not
was
all
this
of them
school?
in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And in Saudi Arabia, I used to be in an international school,
Yeah.
and my friends were either Egyptians or Sudanese, and some of the Palestinians, Jordans, and Syrians, Lebanese.
The cool kids.
We were like, we were like 4 kids, right? And then these Egyptians and the Sudanese, they really love football. It's like everything. So I had to adapt to it. I would play football, but I wouldn't watch it. So I would pick teams based on their shirt.
Yeah, their jerseys.
Their shirt designs. Like, this is a cool shirt design. This looks fancy. I like this. Who's this Ronaldo guy? I like
Making
him. Nice.
football accessible to homosexuals.
Yeah, I really like that Jamaican team. They have a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's like because you would always pick the team. Like African teams probably have the coolest jerseys, but they can't play for shit.
Some
No,
of
I don't
them.
know.
Some of
but
them.
they
can.
usually no. I'm sure they can. They usually don't make it to the finals, right? But then again,
Yeah.
who does? Like the Germans and the Brazilians. I don't know. Yeah, I don't give a shit about football. So that's
none of
in
us
Poland,
do. So
that's-
we should probably move on
Yeah.
because none of us actually give a single fuck about football.
Were the Nazis pro homosexuals?
no, absolutely not. No.
They weren't.
No, I don't think it was like their main point. That they didn't put it on the poster, but they definitely like put
Like that will make me reconsider a lot of stuff. Like, oh yeah, we did all of that shitty things, but we are pro homosexuals,
people,
by
yeah.
the way.
no, they definitely put gay people in camps and stuff too. I mean, back then
To just cheer it up.
we need some interior decorators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that uniform looks so good on you, Harkomen. Is that Hugo Boss?
Yeah, that's right, Hustenklappen. Yeah.
It's so nice to have you here, Laszlo. To have these compliments on a daily basis. I was feeling so drab and down before you came. Thank God for Herr Adolf bringing you to the camp.
There was a big ass interview, not interview, but like a documentary that they just realized that most of the Germans were on meth all of the time, and you have a
I
bit
read
about
the
it.
book. It's called Blitzed.
It's a pretty good title.
So it's a play on the Blitzkrieg, right?
You
It's
mean the
sponsored by
soldiers
Basically,
or
it
just in
studies
general?
the history of drugs
Yeah.
from the Weimar Republic, so after the First World War,
Okay.
until the end of Nazism.
Is that when they
Basically-
developed it?
I'll tell you.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I don't know why I'm rushing you.
So
We need to
Bayern-
fill time.
so Bayard invented cocaine and heroin in housewife form.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the First World War, the shit was cheap. It was like heroin was like ibuprofen. You just,
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone was doing that because the country's spiraling into hyperinflation and there's no jobs, no future. So people were just banging cocaine, heroin, ether. Berlin became this like artistic, depraved center where people just always on drugs in the cafe. You go to a cafe, you order a cup of coffee and a fucking little pot of cocaine or a
Ooh.
little pot of heroin and you just live your own movie.
Give me powdered sugar.
And then, according to the Nazis, that was depraved. So when they come into power, they banned all that shit. They banned cocaine, they banned heroin, they banned ether, all these other like obscure drugs, opium. They banned that shit, and they put people into prisons that were like confirmed addicts and stuff. And they also end up in concentration camps. But they just replaced it with meth.
Yeah.
Because like the country was in ruins. The country had like Zimbabwe money in like 31, 32. It was
Right.
literally Zimbabwe money.
Yeah.
And
like
by
worthless.
35, 36, they started, flexing a bit, 38, annexed Sudetenland, started, flexing on Czechoslovakia. They rebuilt the whole country in 5 years. And how? Crystal meth.
Yeah.
It's
It was called
amphetamine, right? Yeah.
It was called Pervitin in the tablet form. And, first they gave it to, like, the military to test it.
Sure.
And then, like, yeah, shit's pretty good, son. So they started
It's
giving it to
working out.
everybody. Yeah, it's really working out for us. And then, they'd advertise it as, when you need a little pick-me-up, when you're driving a tram or you need to clean the house up because you got guests coming. They had chocolates for housewives with methamphetamine in them. It's real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Polish
Well,
economic recovery. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of, or they tried to get rid of the Palacha, all the
That's
alternative
nasty shit.
designers.
You know about
what is
Dopalacha?
that? What is that?
It was kind of like semi-legal for a second. I missed out on it. I never tried that shit, but now it's like it's still available. But it's
Is
just
it
like
psychedelic?
it's I guess in
listen.
the US they might call it designer drugs or whatever. It's usually like
But designer means like in English like kind of upscale and fancy. This
Sort
was
of.
not. This was like
Well,
fake
it's just straight
synthetic
from a
weed.
lab, yeah.
Yeah, from the sink in the lab. Like,
Yeah.
so basically, I left Poland when I was a kid. When I would come back, there was these dopalacze shops because weed was really shit and hard to get, and then they made it more illegal. I think at some point.
Yeah.
So they had dopalacze shops, which was like synthetic weed, synthetic amphetamine, synthetic methadone. Problem with that is, yeah, you try to get as close to the effects as you can, but you fuck a bunch of other shit up.
Yeah.
And then you had like the Polish drive to just get fucked up. So they're just like, yeah, let's make shit that's not similar to anything, just fucks you up.
Yeah.
And like people lost their minds and shit. Like it was just random shit to get you fucked up, random chemicals.
Well, yeah, or it'd be very similar with like one chain, one element different, so it couldn't be classified as illegal.
I think then they just went off the reservation. They were like,
don't
yeah,
know.
we don't need to make it similar to anything else anymore. Just get fucked up.
That's probably
So I had
true.
a friend in school, so we were going to school together when I was like 10, 11. I left, and then I came back. I was 15 or 16. I came back. Mate, he was gone. Like in the head, he was
Like, completely,
gone. Like he remembered that we went to school and that, but the guy was just in his own world, like disconnected. Like
yeah, the after effects and the side effects are just crazy. I still have to this day. I haven't tried it, but I'm not a big fan of stimulants. That's what I was thinking. Is that they got rid of opium and stuff because that's not a productive drug. Amphetamine is a good one.
Cocaine's a productive
Yeah,
drug.
that's what I was gonna say. Is like why did they get rid of cocaine? But then I don't know
because
Why
it
did
was
they get
no
rid of
because
maybe Bayer wasn't making enough money.
because
on
it was no, it was too closely linked to art and homosexuals. I don't know. It's probably that
That's possible.
because
Yeah.
it was this whole like subculture
Yeah.
or
And the
counterculture, I guess.
That's definitely what helped delegalize weed in the U.S. Is like it
Yeah.
was a counterculture drug. Yeah.
Yeah, they just
And
said
a
it'll
lot of
make
black
you
people
want
smoked it.
to have. It'll make your wife or daughter have want to have sex with the N-word.
And listen to jazz music.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, do you know what? She can give the pussy up, but don't be listening to James Brown. Fuck that
Not
shit.
the jazz.
Yeah, it's so funny that jazz was like revolutionary, and now it's like the Squares music, right? It's like it's like your grandpa listens to jazz or something.
I love jazz live, man.
I like it too, but it's funny. It's like it's a very, I would say, stiff kind of snobbish field of music now, or
It is, yeah.
or maybe it always was.
It's
Whereas
classic.
back in the day, it was like, oh, it's a wild party, baby.
It's black people, and they're snobbish. God save us.
Yeah, that's
They
the
got the
worst
bass.
thing. Yeah, you can't have uppity slaves. That's shut the whole thing down.
They're jiving. Sir, they're jiving.
They can't be stopped. They can't be stopped. What you like live jazz music?
Yeah, I used to go to Ronnie Scott's in London when I could. Just like the legendary club in London.
Oh shit!
It was set up in the 1950s, I think, by a guy called... You want to guess it?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
Ronnie Scott.
It was,
shit.
son.
Or was it
Have I told you about this before?
No, it was Ronnie Scott's Jr.
and that's like, yeah, real experience. Like, it's everything you imagine a jazz club is in your mind. So it's that. Very
So
nice
it's like
experience.
dark in a basement, or
Yeah.
something like that?
It means extremely fancy and expensive now.
Oh sure.
That's why I went for the experience. I don't really know much about jazz music.
Yeah, no, I mean, me neither. I just listen to it. I know stuff about a couple guys, but yeah. What do you listen to, Badr?
Just funky stuff.
Funky stuff?
Yeah, I like the funky stuff.
I guess now you have like an unlimited access to unlimited playlists of random stuff, right? So you don't even have to know exactly what you're listening to sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
I love James Brown recently.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of James Brown, and I love that he's not singing.
No, it's just
He's
pure
more
energy.
of preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
get off that thing, and I'm like, yeah, I can listen to this.
It's just vowels. He doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's just literally just vowels.
Yeah, he doesn't have to articulate words. No.
Yeah,
It's good.
I love it.
That's
and-
energy. That's energy.
Exactly.
Well, you don't have to use what. That's him. He doesn't need to make sense on stage. It's just energy.
Just vowels.
Sexomania. That's not a word, but Sexomania.
I think
of course.
sexomania is actually probably a lot funnier than what it would normally be called. I don't know what, sexual addiction or
Nymphomania.
Nymphomania. Maybe,
No. But
Nymphomania
sexomania is actually, it's when you have sex when you're. I swear to God, you can Google it.
Yeah.
It's when you have sex when you're asleep.
Okay.
Like
So
you get to doze off and you're
Yeah.
sleeping and you.
Isn't I
have
know
this
another
kind of-
word for that. It starts
It's
with
called
R,
rape.
ends with ape.
No, but you're saying
talking
you
about?
get aroused when you fall asleep, or
Dude, he's
No,
not lying. He's
I'm
not lying.
Look it up.
Believe it or not, there are some pretty strange sexual disorders out there.
Yeah.
Okay, sexomania. Okay, and it's directly answering our doubts.
Okay.
I kid you not.
No,
This is a disorder that involves having sex while you're asleep. It's sort of like sleepwalking, but you're aware you're having sex.
But it's sexy.
Apparently, you could actually sleepwalk your way to your neighbor, begin humping him. That just seems like
Wow.
rape excuses.
Yeah.
It just seems like somebody woke up in the morning like, I did it again.
I was having such a deep dream.
But that was actually a nightmare of mine when I was a kid.
Getting fucked in
that
the night.
That you
not
have
only
sexomania?
sleepwalking.
That you
no.
wouldn't wake up, you'd miss it.
Like, oh god damn it.
That's what I'm going to try to put that word in every sentence now. Now that I know it's, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry for making fun of you. It's still a hilarious word, though. I'm going to try to use it.
Nobody
in every
else is going to
sentence now.
believe it's a word, by the way.
Yeah.
Now we know, but so what?
Yeah, but go ahead. You say a nightmare?
No, it's a nightmare because during my teenage years, back in the day,
Yeah.
I was really as a teenager. You know, teenagers are perverted. So
I'm still a teenager, yeah.
yeah, in their heads, they would think that, oh shit, like I'm the most perverted out there. Like what's in my thoughts is so dark and
Yeah,
Only
just
you were
sure.
right.
exactly, yeah. And then I was afraid that somehow like I have a broken tooth. And do you know how in the US you have to fix your teeth, but they actually put you on like a like
Anesthesia? Or,
yeah,
or
and
like
they would lose your shit and
Yeah,
your
like complete anesthesia. Like
exactly, and you
falling
would
asleep. Yeah.
say stuff that you're not really aware of.
Right.
I was afraid that I would actually put me under that anesthesia.
Don't
and
know
I
what
would,
you think.
exactly. I would tell him what I think. I would be like, I'm fucking everybody. Like, I want to put my toe in all of your holes. man.
Oh my god, I have this fear as well.
Yeah.
Every time a girlfriend says to me, "You were sleep talking again last night," I was like,
Just start sweating.
"What did I say?"
Yeah. No, that definitely happens at the dentist or like when people are getting operated. Yeah, they're hitting on the staff or whatever. But I guess people get used to it eventually. I guess like how far do you have to go for them to try to report you or something? Like if you start devising a terrorist plot while you're under anesthesia, do they call the police or they be like, he's just having some fun.
He's just having so fun.
Just having a laugh.
Imagine you go for a tooth extraction, you wake up in Guantanamo, getting all the others extracted now.
Oh, fuck.
Shouldn't be talking shit.
Yeah. I was right to be afraid of the dentist. Fuck those guys.
And fuck the police.
Oh man.
Yeah. Fucking narcs.
Yeah, I'm now I want to like look it up and see if anybody ever used sexomania as an
bet.
excuse in court or something, like try to build a defense on that. Your Honor.
I think in court in the past, there's someone actually was accused of sexual assault
Yeah.
or murder, and then his excuse was he was proved innocent because he said that he was dehydrated.
Oh.
And I read this
Yeah.
somewhere, and he was just I was like, hey, I just need water. I wasn't
I'm
thinking straight. I was dehydrated. They were like, yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you said rape or like assault and murder, I was like, no, I don't think I could.
That is dehydrating.
There's no way. It is very exhausting. That's true. No, because dehydration can really fuck with your brain. But I'm just trying to imagine: is that even possible? Like, I doubt it.
Yeah. A brain tumor apparently can.
Oh yeah, it can definitely cause strange behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Brain
okay.
tumor.
Now I got. Thanks for building up that list of excuses. Next time I get stopped by the police or something, it was like, no, it's sexomania. Wait, no, it's a tumor. It's a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Just have it in like a notebook that is titled like sexual harassers, excuses, and just pull up the notebook. It's filled with excuses.
No, you can still definitely use "she was asking for it." That's that one
Yeah,
works all
that's
the time.
Good old fashioned one.
Depending on which state you're in, maybe. Yeah.
Am I moving too much?
You're bumping into the stand.
Oh, your stand?
That's I was trying to gesture to you without interrupting the.
No, you completely interrupted my thoughts. But no.
Your thoughts.
My thoughts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in the muff.
That's a callback to a part that wasn't recorded.
Now. He thought the muff actually meant in your head, whereas it just means pussy hair.
I actually thought the muff meant like noggin.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know what noggin is. I don't know how to spell it.
English
I don't
word
know.
for head.
Yeah.
Is it? How do you spell it?
So you know you're playing football.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone's waiting for a cross.
Okay.
Yeah, you go, "Go on, son, only noggin."
That never happened in Saudi Arabia. I'm telling you that. It's more of, حبيب أعطينا باس يلا يلا.
We should start playing five-a-side, man.
What is that?
Five-a-side football. Like, I'm sure there's some foreigner leagues like in Warsaw.
Yeah.
You want to play football?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play football.
But like professionally?
No, I just told you.
No, just recreation. Is that 5-on-5? Is that why it's called 5? Okay.
Because you don't want to run too far, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
especially with your knees.
I don't want to run at all. I need a good reason for that.
Just gonna narrate
goalkeeper.
Yeah, I could be cool. Sure. Just give me some. I want the hockey outfit, so I don't have to move. I'll just block it with my body.
What I was thinking. Is there a rule in football against wearing like
extra pads or
like Spider-Man, but not Spider-Man.
like Spider-Man.
You know the wingsuits that they fly in?
Yeah.
If you wore that between your legs, you'd catch the ball. Is there a rule against that?
I definitely think there is.
I would imagine there is.
You can't wear wings. So like, no, you can't.
Fear the bat.
That's why I was going to revolutionize that shit.
Probably because nobody's ever tried it, but you can. You can set that rule up, I guess.
Like, who else would have thought of this but me, right?
Oh no, I think brown people try to wear not brown people, Indians. They tried. They are all kinds of colors, and shapes and sizes.
That's true.
I don't know why I said.
So when you say brown, you mean Arabs or what?
Yeah, like Indians specifically.
Yeah. It's funny because like,
but when you say brown, you mean Arabs.
No. When I say brown, I mean Asian browns.
Asian
brown.
Just digging the
It's just devolving.
No. Like browns.
May I just say, as a white man, I am not affiliated with these opinions, and neither is Gaweł.
No, but like brown,
South Asian, Southeast.
Yeah, they can be brown. People can be like what? Philippines, Indonesians.
Sure, I guess. That's what I was gonna say. Is depending where you say that is like
exactly.
Because if you say brown in the U.S., that could be Latinos and Mexicans,
it's just
whatever.
Different degrees of offensive. It's all offensive.
I guess so.
We all know who brown people are.
It's just to differentiate from black people, the evil ones.
But here's my point is, this is not my point, but my point is when Indians wanted to play football and soccer, I think they used to play with like their shoes that was like just kind of like Aladdin kind of shoes. Do you know these kind of shoes? Yeah, it's not like actual shoes. It's like Aladdin kind of ones. And they actually had to implement a rule. It's like, no, you need an actual shoe. Oh no, they didn't wear these shoes. They were actually barefoot.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that was too. I dig myself too deep in my stereotype.
I like the Aladdin shoes bit better.
It would make more sense.
Let's just revise history completely. And the goalkeeper had a flying carpet, and he just moved from side to side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I mean, there's probably barefoot footballers all over the world because it's a sport that you play in pretty much every country.
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia, you usually play it on like actual, guess what, sand.
Yeah.
So the field would be sand, and most of the time they would just play barefoot. I couldn't do it.
Is grass. Yes.
What? In Saudi Arabia,
we had this discussion. Badr was explaining the Arab world to me, and it's like we use the sand for everything.
Oh,
okay. So the people, the Bedouins, were traveling for a long time in the desert. They live in the desert, and they don't have a lot of water, but they need to wash themselves and clean themselves.
Yeah.
Sand is water. They wash themselves with sand.
I swear.
Now, sand is grass.
Sand is the new grass.
No, I mean it makes sense. Sand is can clean. I mean, I guess, yeah. You can make microchips out of that shit, so I guess it's good for everything.
Sand?
Yeah, I don't know the exact process. I just know there's like a shortage of sand, which is wild. But from making all the silicon chips and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what it is? The shortage of? Because I know there's a shortage of chips. Is that a shortage of sand?
As far as like the production delays now, that's a whole. It's a whole chain of things, like including the way that they would arrange production, where they only had the most needed materials for like immediate orders, and everything slowed down because of the pandemic. And then probably the Chinese manipulating, trade and all this other stuff. Yeah. But no, it's like people say water. There's going to be water wars, and that's probably true. But I think the other major resource right now is sand. I don't know if it's a specific type or the mineral in it. I don't know.
Have they looked in the Middle East?
Somebody
Guys, come in. Like, we have a lot in my bedroom, in my living room,
between my toes.
It was a sandstorm, actually.
Yeah. No, you definitely need to fact check everything I say, but no, it's definitely needed for like silicone chips or something.
Yeah.
And they make so many. It's ridiculous how many they make, right? It's because it's in every car, every phone. People have 3 fucking phones. It's just ridiculous,
yeah. How do you export sand?
I don't know. I think you process it first somehow, but
big sand pipeline.
Like a huge slide.
It can't flow like oil, so the whole pipeline just has to be like this, just tilted, so it runs down.
Like an hourglass.
Yeah. We need one more guy to hold it up on this
side.
That would make complete sense.
Yeah.
I miss sandstorms.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Because
sandstorms.
I mean, it seems like an amazing thing, but you don't want to be in one, right?
True. You need to be in closed doors.
Yeah,
but
very closed, like real doors.
Yeah, like actual rooms and doors and walls and windows shut down.
Yeah,
because in a sandstorm, if you leave your window open, literally sand will gush into the living room.
Of course.
And like in half an hour of sandstorm, just
you have a
sanding, storming. Yeah, your entire living room is gonna be like a playground.
Yeah, nice.
It's like we can find a camel.
But what do you miss about them? Just like the same way people look at storms out the window. Yeah, I'm sure.
Here's the thing, because the
from
entire
far
sky.
away, or
No, like even while you're
it's
in
happening.
it, the sky is just orange.
Yeah,
and it's a nice color of orange, but that's it, literally.
Yeah,
because it's literally, if sandstorms happen in the summer,
okay,
and during the summer it's hot.
It helps. It's always summer.
Yes. So when it hits you, it's like small sandy particles hitting your flesh.
Yeah,
and it's hot, so it's like burning BBs.
Yeah.
It's
fucked up.
Oh shit!
I'm sure it's amazing to watch. Yeah, I've never witnessed it. No.
It would be fun.
I'm trying to think if there's any places in the U.S. that have them, but I guess not. Maybe there's not.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
You need
not
the Sahara Desert.
Not the right climate.
Yeah.
We have pussy-ass tornadoes in Poland.
Tornadoes?
I guess we have them now.
We have
yeah.
pussy-ass tornadoes. Yeah.
Pussy-ass tornadoes. Or just a pussy tornado.
We have Euro tornadoes. They're a little softer.
Yeah.
They just go, excuse me, can I come in here? It's like,
just take your cow. Just your cow.
Just your cow.
Yeah, I guess the weather is kind of wild. It's changing. I don't know. It seems to me like it's much more sudden than it used to be.
Yeah,
or like
true.
The wind yesterday, bro. Oh, when we were landing, and I was trying to hold. I was holding diarrhea all the way from Budapest, like all the way from the house. It's like no. I'll bring it home. It'll be fine.
As a souvenir.
It was just, and I shit you know, when we're just about to land, the plane just went. Like it wasn't close, but it was
going from side to side.
No, it almost spilled over.
Because we're sitting next to the wing, and I just see like the ground appeared next to me. Like, oh no! And then we landed and we survived again. Boring.
Did you still hold the diarrhea while?
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you for bringing back what's ours. Keeping, or actually, I guess you're stealing from the Hungarians.
Yes, stealing from their resources. What happens in Budapest does not stay in Budapest, apparently. No.
Yeah. That Hungarian-Polish friendship only goes so far.
I kept playing these jokes with my girlfriend. Like, we'll be sitting there waiting for the plane. I'll be like, hold my hand. Dry one.
Did y'all ever have any close calls on an airplane? I don't know how much you've flown, but yeah?
Like a close call, you mean? Like,
well, like meaning...
Actually shitting myself?
I was about to say that. No, I just shit myself in my house. Close call? No, I
guess I mean turbulence where you thought, okay, this is the one where I'm going to die.
We were coming to land, and like I see the horizon as you would when you land, and then suddenly you see the ground. Oh.
It was that bad? Yeah.
It was like when we got out, like the rain, not the rain, the wind was moving like puddles across the concrete.
Wow.
Like,
Okay, that's a lot.
No, I guess I've been in turbulence on a transatlantic where it gets pretty wild. Like if you're not buckled in, it might kind of bump you out of your seat. But nothing that, especially on a smaller plane, I feel like you feel that a lot more. I don't think I've ever experienced anything where I'm shitting myself. I'm not afraid to fly. I'm always wondering what the people who are thinking, because they must be like paranoid the whole time.
I remember one time I was in an airport. It was a Syrian Airlines, which thank God they stopped that. Dude, it was a shitty ass airlines.
Yeah.
But now they are renovating. They had like a lot of airplanes, but for you know what reasons. They literally just ended up with one airplane flying in and out all the time until they now have more.
Did they have to change their name from Syrian Airlines to Syrian Airplane?
Just one airplane. So now.
Have you been on the Syrian airplane yet? Come on,
dude. Muhammad was here.
Tagged and shit.
No, but I was like 8 years. No, I wasn't 8 years old. I was like 12 years old, which was average age. In Syria. So I was in this airplane.
The average age you start to understand jihad.
Yeah. So I was in this airplane and I really wanted to go poo-poo no poo-poo, you know? So
poo-poo no poo-poo? What is that? Is that some kind of special?
It's no. It's
a number 3. It's the
but I was a child, so it was a poo-poo. So I wanted to go poo-poo.
No, poo-poo is understandable. You just you just added like 4 more syllables after, and I was confused.
So I got into this fucking poo-poo room,
and
I shut myself in. But the door, it couldn't get shut.
It didn't lock. Yeah,
it didn't lock.
Okay, yeah.
But so I was like, I got it. Like I really got my grip in it, and I just shut it down, and it's really locked. Like it locked.
Yeah.
For good.
For good. And I just did my business, you know.
Yeah. What was your business?
The poo-poo and poo-poo.
Just signing contracts for big NAFTA deals.
Poo-poo Incorporated.
So I freaked out and I flushed where I think in my 12-year-old brain when I flushed the toilet
on the Syrian airplane. Is it just a hole?
Yeah, it's just it's from the people back to the people.
Yeah. You actually have to be 12 because children cannot go unattended, yeah.
So I was knocking on the door of the airplane, of the toilet.
Back into the cabin, yeah.
And literally the host or whoever, like the people, the hostess of the airplane,
yeah.
The
stewardess, yes. Thank you.
Flight attendant is the proper...
A flight attendant, yes.
Doesn't
not
matter.
to appropriate any profession out there.
Yeah, they don't use stewardess anymore. Not in the US. Sorry, continue.
The flight attendant...
Isn't technically everyone a flight attendant that's on the plane. I attended this flight.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, but attendant is like somebody that's there to serve you,
To
basically,
steward
to
you,
help
yes.
Please do not use that S word.
I don't know. I just know airlines used to be really sexist, which is kind of funny.
No.
But yeah.
Are they?
They used to be, but everything was, so I guess. Yeah, it was like females only. They had to look a certain way. They had to wear a certain kind of heel.
That's totally gone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they still have it, but it's not as restrictive as it was. Like,
Yeah.
Yo, I saw like this. Like the Arab planes are still poor, I think, because I saw the stewardesses, flight attendants for the Qatar Airlines come off the plane in Warsaw, and their planes are like so cheap they don't have curtains. Like the ladies had to wear the curtains on themselves.
I don't think this.
that's stupid.
I bet you fucking Suave or something. But
What's that they have to wear
The
on the
curtains.
sides? Was it?
and do they have like rings where you can just go?
Visors.
No, but they just had like those white flight
Burkas?
stewardesses, and
It's
they
a
had
burqa.
no, but it was just like one
Hijab.
curtain kind of thing. Like it's kind of.
Oh, that's just their uniform. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like
I think so.
It's like a hijab combined with a little hat
it's like
or something.
hijab light.
Yeah. Okay.
Hijab light. Make it fashionable. I think
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, it's just literally just fashion.
Because Emirates is like one of the most luxurious airlines. I feel like
Yeah,
or the
and
most
Qatar
expensive,
even.
right?
That's
Yeah.
because
Qatar.
Qatar as
I
well.
think so, yeah, Qatar is. But they like their culture, and they think their
Who
culture
wouldn't like
is
women
the
not talking
is
back?
the
I mean,
hot
come
fire.
on, bro. Like,
They
it's-
think what?
is the hot fire.
What is though?
Their culture.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
So exactly, everyone. I think everyone
well,
should
maybe
be proud.
Polish people are half of them are ashamed, but yeah.
Do you think everyone should be proud of their culture?
No.
No,
So what the fuck are you guys talking about?
White guilt.
it's not white guilt. I just have a first-hand experience of Poland and the U.S. with like two countries that are way too proud of their
No
shit,
fucking reason.
especially the Americans. Yeah,
No, but there's like you're talking about being too prideful of your culture.
Yeah.
What about just like proud? Or is proud not the right word?
no, I mean it's definitely the word a lot of people would use. I just think pride is kind of a useless feeling in most cases, but whatever.
Pride of things.
It's
you
usually
had
things.
No hand
Yeah,
or
it's usually things you have
achievement in,
nothing to
like,
do with. Yeah.
It's
Shut the fuck up, man. Go play some football.
play some football on some sand.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, and cheer some guys that you had also nothing to
like
do with.
it's
That
like
were-
you're sitting in your house, like, what have I achieved in my life that I can feel good about? You know, and just
Nothing.
look down at your white skin. Yes!
I'm white.
That's it. That's all it is, man. It's the need to feel. It's not even feeling prideful or good about yourself. It's just feeling better than someone else. That's all Polish pride is, and American pride. It's not like we're the.
I think Polish
we're
pride
the
is.
greatest people that can be. We're the greatest country in the world.
But where does that come from?
I don't think Poland really has that. Like they might say that shit, but they have a huge complex of like inferiority as opposed to Americans.
To Hungary, and
So-
for the first time, I felt superior to a country as
Oh,
a
really?
Polish guy. It was the same. It's like, yo, this is like us 15 years back. Don't worry,
Yeah.
you come along. You come along.
It's like your older brother.
Aren't they doing better economically though? Maybe not now, but they
don't
used
look
to.
like it
Okay,
outside the
yeah.
city. Don't look like it.
Sure.
Like just like social economically on the surface, it just looks like Poland a while ago, dude. Okay, no, fuck that. Case in point, we tried to get an Uber to go to the comedy show. I'm trying to get an Uber. I can't get an Uber. I'm like, why can't I get an Uber? I was like,
Where
oh
are
yeah,
the
Uber is illegal here.
Wait,
Oh.
what?
What the fuck?
Well, that's
Yeah.
actually a good thing, I would say.
Sure.
Okay.
And then I go
Okay.
on Bolt, and Bolt has a contract with the taxi companies, so you can do it. So I ordered a Bolt. It like does the circle for like 2 minutes and goes, driver not found, like in the capital city. So
Okay.
I click it again, I keep clicking it again, and then I found one called Gabor, which is a Hungarian name,
Okay.
10 minutes away. They got Hungarian people driving the Ubers, right? That's backwards. That's ass backwards,
I was
bro.
going to
Where
say
are
they don't
Indians
have
at?
enough
Where are you
immigrants.
Indians at? And then it's like, man, we go to McDonald's, right? Before the show, we go to McDonald's, and you know, in cities, in the big cities, you have the code for the toilet, so you know, not everyone can go in. You have to pay, and then you
Yeah, I
put in the
guess.
code.
Fuck homeless people.
Do you know what they have in Budapest?
No.
A toilet grandma checking the receipts.
Oh shit! Okay.
They still have toilet grandmas.
Yeah.
Like
That's true, they did-
grandma that works there in the toilet
grandma.
the whole day. She
Oh.
just checks whether you can go in, and she just mops and shit. We had that in Poland, but like in 1972.
Was
bro.
she Hungarian?
No, 95 maybe, but yeah.
So I think that's
in
where...
McDonald's?
It's actually no. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in Warsaw, I've definitely seen that, but that was a long time ago. It was just somebody's grandma. She didn't work there. She was
It's just someone
just really annoying.
checking receipts.
She was just really annoying. Likes to be in people's business.
Fuck, have you seen my grandma, dude? Yeah, she's over there checking strangers' receipts.
Yo, your
again.
mama's out there checking
So
receipts.
there is okay. This is how I measure European economic progress, and why I'm so proud of Poland.
By Uber.
Brown people have not seen a reason to come and stay in Hungary yet,
Okay.
en masse,
Yes.
like in Poland.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas in Poland, like how, like okay, I'm not going to ruin my material here, but like how
Yeah.
proud should we be? Because 15 years ago we didn't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
guess.
we were running away, and now people from other parts
Are
come.
coming in.
Yeah, but I feel
Here.
like a lot of them
But-
stay
and
because they
say,
can't
like,
get
"Do you know
further
what?
because they're just
I
trying
can't
to
be bothered to go to Germany anymore. Fuck.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
yeah
they could.
maybe because the immigration isn't working as well as it should.
No, but
or
here's the thing. Is Hungary...
it's hard to get into Germany, right? Whereas Poland, you're like, I'm here, might as well chill out for a minute.
True, that's exactly
I feel like a lot
my
of
point.
people want to go somewhere else, but it's difficult.
True.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Is Hungary part of European Union?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember how recently, but yeah, did it join the same
Same as us,
time
maybe.
as
Same
Poland?
as us,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, if stuff hits if shit hit the fan in Poland and it eventually leaves the European Union, I'm going to Hungary.
I'm not staying. If they like,
Yeah.
why would you? Do they remember what this country looked like before the European Union? Do you know what it looked like? Like Hungary today.
No,
that
with
bad.
grandmas the receipts and
I mean, I've only very briefly been to Budapest, but my impression was different. I thought it was
the
like
city's beautiful.
I thought it was fairly maybe not cosmopolitan,
the
but
city
like
for sure. But
the,
we went
the
outside.
bars and clubs I went to were like all
Yeah,
identical or even
great.
similar to.
Same, love them. But where the people actually live,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
okay.
"Oh, okay, this is what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Not, like,
I
terrible.
mean the same is true for Poland. I live in Warsaw. It's like I have no comparison. If I go to any much smaller town or like the country,
They've painted the
The country
apartment
is
blocks
fucked.
already.
yeah, but the country is fucked. I mean, it's unemployment is so high, it's ridiculous. I think it's all propped up by something. It's got to be. It's probably the Indians and the Ukrainian Uber drivers
That's it.
keeping
If
up our
they
economy.
go, we're
Once they're
finished.
gone, we're fucked.
We're
It's
finished.
yeah, like a couple of years ago, I heard this that there's a loss of like they need workers actually.
oh yeah,
like
definitely.
laborers and-
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone's going to the UK or the US. So
I think a lot of people came back actually, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
We're still forgetting
Unskilled labor. Yeah.
how many Polish people there are living in fucking Belgium, sleeping on pallets, picking strawberries, and sending all their money to their family in Poland. There's
True.
still
Yeah.
a lot of those
Yeah, I
people.
was
Yeah.
surprised people were writing and talking about that like this year or whatever. I thought that wasn't something that people still do in any significant amount. Like,
But they do.
so
From
I guess
around
they must
Poland.
pay pretty well.
My ex's family, they're from the Apple region
Yeah.
of Poland. And they have, their own apple.
Wait,
whatever
which
garden.
one is their
Sandomierz.
apple? Range? Okay,
And they had their own apples and their
you
own
didn't have to say
tomatoes.
the city, but whatever.
You know. So they had the apples and the tomatoes and shit like that. And then I was talking to the auntie, and she was like, "Yeah, this summer. We're going to Belgium. All of us, pick strawberries and tomatoes in Belgium." I'm like, "But you have your own here. Who's
Orchard,
going to
yeah.
pick those?" She goes, "What do you mean, Ukrainians?"
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
Yeah. That's true. You did tell me about
That
that.
makes sense.
Winning on all fronts, bro.
That makes sense.
Enterprising.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about for a moment. I was considering like some kind of immigration work again or something, just because I like the idea of just making a big chunk of money at once and not spending it, and then I guess that's why some people like still go to Norway or whatever.
Yeah, always good.
I don't know. Like in the U.S., when I was in Seattle, a lot of people would do that with Alaska or like fishing boats, and those fucking things are ridiculous because
shit like that.
yeah, oil rigs. I think you need a little more qualifications, and it's like very
Yeah.
dangerous. But yeah, like it's not. I guess not far off when you go to like a big fish processing ship where they actually do half the processing on board, because there's nothing else you can do there. You fucking sleep there. You work 10, 12 hours, whatever it is. and you come back with a big chunk of money, and then you spend it on
you die
on
in the
hookers and
freezing sea.
Anchorage, or you die.
or that. Yeah, that's
But it's like I heard it's like it's pretty wild because it's a lot of people that can't get work elsewhere, or like Alaska is kind of full of crazies to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of ex-convicts or like people that you don't really want handling a knife. You don't really want to give them sharp tools, whereas they're like stripping all these tuna and stuff or whatever they fucking fish there.
Why were you in Seattle, and what age were you?
When I dropped out of college, I went to live and work there. Mostly 'cause I kind of wanted to be on the West Coast. My original idea was, I don't know, I was going to do music or like something to do with studio recording engineering. And I think I wanted to be in LA eventually. Mm-hmm. But my dad had as a friend there, like stayed with her for a couple months, and Seattle seemed cool enough to like live there, and decent wages and stuff. Now it's like, I don't know how it is now, because it's a pretty expensive city, but it was cool. It's like, it's like there was only so many choices for me. It was either I could go back to Texas, try to live in fucking New York or something, or like, the West Coast, Seattle, Los Angeles. So it seemed reasonable at the time. And I was glad I lived there. It's a cool city, but, I don't know. Without like a career there, it doesn't really make sense to stay. Because everything is going up so ridiculously. Anytime IT professionals move in and like all those companies are growing, they bring more and more money, they invest in real estate, and everything just goes off the rails. Like people are basically just gentrified everywhere, wherever possible.
That's why I want to go to fucking Mexico and sell falafel tacos.
Falafel taco. Mexico seems cool. I guess
that was my plan.
It also depends where you go, I guess. But yeah, I've only seen like a small part of the northern part, which is very specific. Like if you go to southern Mexico, it's totally different, I think, because like the whole border section is just.
Yeah, up north they cut heads like this, and down south they cut like this.
It's not clockwise, it's anti-clockwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's specific regions that are like totally controlled by crime, and then there's other ones that are probably not. But yeah, but the border is always like, it's always a mix of like Americans and Mexicans and stuff. And the town we were in, it was right during spring break, so like all these American college students, and you could if you were like a beginner jihadi. Like that's the worst.
Let me talk about that.
That's either the best or the worst place to go, because like you would, if you kind of disliked Americans, you would hate them by the time you leave there. Like I'm not surprised.
But there's a good chance you'd get some white pussy to convert you.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm not surprised that like the locals or whatever would be dismissive or like this. Even though they make money on them, they hate them because they fucking behave like animals. They just they think they're like it's in like a British different
people
place.
In Corfu and
exactly.
Zante and Magaluf.
Yeah. I was in I forget the name. Albufeira Huba is. I don't know why I said Huba maybe in Polish.
If you didn't, nobody would have understood.
I know.
That makes
too
sense.
Many neurons misfiring. But yeah, there's a little town in Portugal, and it's like it's totally Britified. Like they don't even try to talk to you in Portuguese. The menus are in English. It's all fucking fish and chips. There's shirtless Brits walking around the market. It's crazy. It's just like they've colonized that tourist town.
It's still being
they've lost their ability to colonize unless drunk.
Yeah. If you send enough of them and they're fucked up,
it all comes back out once they've had a drink.
It's like girls having bachelorette parties or whatever hen do's, whatever they call it, and it's like, to me, they're having the same thing they'd be doing in London. I don't even know why they travel to another country to do it. Maybe it's a little cheaper. I don't know.
The weather, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's 90%
I would love Britain if it wasn't Britain.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
If it was let's just move it. Move the whole island.
Yeah, just move it, change the name.
Yeah.
Keep everything.
No, the weather in Lisbon is perfect for me. Like, I loved it there.
Oh.
I mean, as far as I know, I don't know what winter is like, but it never gets cold enough to like. We were talking to a taxi driver and asking him if they ever have snow, and he's like, no. Maybe once in the north in the mountains somewhere for a while, and that's it. So that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever? This is especially a good question for Badr. Do you guys ever do any winter sports?
I snowboarded once.
Yeah, just once?
That was enough.
Okay.
To know I have no coordination and balance to
Really?
stand on.
But that's like the first couple of weeks is really tough. I mean, especially if you...
Yeah, I did it for half a day, mate. So
Yeah.
probably why, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
And like...
I mean, if you didn't enjoy it, I guess, but...
It's not... It's just like many sports that I'm just scared for my knees. Like,
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I fucked up my knees definitely through that. I still enjoy it, but it's like it's been years since I went because every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna travel, I have to buy new equipment, all this other bullshit. It's it's a fucking white people sport for sure.
Is, yeah.
It's
I
fun,
never
but
saw snow until I came here.
oh yeah, I think we
I swear
talked
to God.
about that. It's pretty
I
funny.
literally didn't.
Yeah.
What
I
did
didn't
you
know
think it was then?
I thought like it was kind of like sand, but it was white, and it was cold as fuck.
When you actually saw it or before?
No, before I thought this is what I was.
I need to say this. Okay, so one time, just this another thing about sand.
Yeah.
A few weeks back, we're at my place and I'm eating something, and I dropped it on my shirt. I stand my shirt, I'm like, fuck, I really want to wear this shirt on stage tonight or something. And I take it off, and I'm trying to, like clean it up.
Yeah.
And Badr goes, here, give it. And he looks at it, he goes, do you have some, detergent sand? Washing powder. Detergent sand.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The clean sand. Do you have the cleaning sand?
The cleaning sand.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I understood it.
Yeah.
No,
but it took me a
it's
second.
hilarious,
It's like what?
yeah. No, my brain does that too when I'm looking for the right word.
I'm dyslexic that way. I don't know what it is.
Are you really, or you're just saying that as an excuse?
No,
okay,
I
you've
literally
never-
don't. I might be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
It's just some words are really difficult to comprehend. Not
Yeah.
comprehend. I think
To pronounce.
with
or-
dyslexia, it's like things that you can't comprehend, right?
that how
it
you shouldn't
works?
ask me. I thought it had to do with like writing and reading, but
Yeah.
I thought dyslexia is like when you misread words or you, like the order
There are
of
some
letters
words that I can't
changes for
literally
you. Yeah.
put, like unfortunately, for example.
Oh, you just said it. It's fine.
Yeah, I can say it, but I can't
you
write
have
it.
You can't write it.
No,
okay.
I literally have to go fortunate, unfortunate, unfortunately.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I have to.
Do you make a lot of spelling mistakes?
Yes, very much.
Okay. In
Yeah.
Polish, they call that dysgraphia. I don't know if that's still a thing.
I don't
So it's like only did. I was in school, like late elementary school, when I guess Polish people started to discover the learning disorders like dyslexia and stuff. So it's like all of a sudden, all the kids fucking had it. Especially because there was a point where during the final exams, like I think for either after high school, matura or whatever it was, or maybe even before that, like they wouldn't grade your spelling or something if if a doctor said that you have dyslexia or
So everyone was
like,
So that's
like
just sit there with a stamp, just split the kids left and right. Dyslexic,
Dyslexic.
stupid. Dyslexic, stupid.
So I don't know how many of them actually had it, but it's definitely ignored beforehand.
Yeah.
So.
I remember when I was still in kindergarten. I think it was grade
kindergarten.
1, actually. I was... No. I was, KG2.
Okay.
The fuck is that?
What?
KG2 is kindergarten 2. There's KG1 and there's
Yeah,
KG2, and then there is first grade.
Why is it KG?
Because it's kindergarten.
Oh, KG.
It's
sorry.
the
Okay,
letters. It's not
Yeah, it's
Arabic
just the
name.
initials. No, it's not
I
an
thought you were
Arabic.
saying like J or something. Yeah. Okay.
No. So, in KG2, kindergarten, the second grade, they wanted to test us like
Your eyesight?
our eyesight.
Yeah.
And they literally were just like in the same week they were teaching us the alphabets and stuff and how to write the alphabets.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to write the alphabet.
Sure.
I just made mistakes, and unfortunately they had when you're testing the eyesight, you will have like the paper and they will sit like 2 meters away from the paper,
Yeah.
and you have to, they will point on the letter and you have to
tell the
say the
letter.
letter.
They gave it its fucking
I messed up all of the letters.
telescopes because he didn't know the alphabet.
I swear to God, they brought me back. Like I went back home because I messed up all of the letters. I got All of the letters,
They
bro.
sent you home?
They sent me home. They were like,
this child should
dude,
not
you
be in
need,
school
you're
at
blind.
all. Yeah,
You need,
medically, legally blind.
like they will point in an E and I would be like, is that an F? They were like, well, what? You can't see. They went back with the Harry Potter glasses.
Yeah.
And my mother was like, who the fuck? Why do you have glasses? I was like, I didn't know how to spell letters.
Wait,
And
they just gave you glasses immediately, right?
Yeah, they were
Just
like,
whatever they had in the drawers. Just like, this is better than nothing. Just take this. A couple of Coke bottles.
yeah, they were weird. And then they didn't even, I didn't know that they were testing my eyesight. They were just like, oh, this is like a test.
You thought it was like an IQ
And I
test.
failed the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, is like how testing all these works is half the time you probably get a shittier result because you're under stress.
Yeah.
And I think the same goes for eyesight as well, but whatever. I wasn't going anywhere with that.
I have an English rapper you would love, Badr. He's called Big Zoo. And he's amazing. He's very, very literate and very skillful. But they do a lot of radio performances, you know, the grime artists in England. And he has this like this kind of warm-up bar. You know, they don't have like warm-up bars before they go on
It's
the
like,
beat.
yeah.
And stuff like that. So he goes, B-I-G-Z-W, B-I-G-Z-W, B-I-G-Z-W. And if a man can't spell, then that's Big Zoo. So funny. Yeah, it'd be perfect for you, man. He'd spell it out for you.
And
Is
then
a spelling bee.
vocalize it. Could I see an example in a sentence, please?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that clip of the spelling bee kid?
Yes.
Who
And
Oh, yeah.
had to spell negus?
Negus.
origin, please.
And he was like, Ethiopia. And you were like,
No shit, bro. No shit.
oh, that was close.
The look of relief when he's done. Oh god.
No, but those spelling bees are ridiculous. I mean, obviously we only see the highlights, but they spell words that I never even knew existed.
I used to Windows in Poland when I was a kid.
Really?
I used to fucking dominate my town, my everything.
Oh
like,
shit!
all
I didn't
around
even
me.
know that was a thing in Poland. Like,
Konkurs ortograficzny. Yeah.
okay. Did you have to do
spelling contest basically?
Damn.
But you had to do other things other than spelling, or just
No, it was
just
just,
spelling?
I did other
orthography.
competitions, but there was like literally just spelling competitions.
For how old were you when you
Like
stopped?
7, 8, I don't know.
When
I
you
don't know.
started, you were 7?
I don't know, man. Like I was a kid,
Yeah.
but it's like it's good at spelling for some reason.
Damn.
How did a teacher single you out and like you need to be good at something? So do that.
No, it was more the case I was good at everything back then.
Yeah,
Yeah, that didn't last.
because it was effort. It was too effortart, right?
I was really good at shit people expect 7-year-olds to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
yeah.
What about now? I'm still good at things that 7-year-olds could do.
yeah. You don't get any fucking certificates or medals for that
They
anymore.
fucked me up,
It's-
bro, because
Yeah.
like I read so for some reason I could read, yeah. And when I was like 2.5 years old or something, I read the newspaper to my aunties. They thought that was like, the most crazy shit ever, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what they started saying? They started telling me I'm a genius and shit like that.
Oh.
And I'm like, yo, I'm a genius. I don't need to do
Yeah.
anything, bro. What the fuck? Like, I never studied. I never learned how to work. I never learned how to do anything. And then I went to university. Turns out I'm not a genius. I'm very far from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been reading more recently about how like that fucks kids up. Like, it's not even like that's something conservatives say all the time. It's like, oh, you praise kids too much. But yeah, if you tell people that, I think one of the main things is that people think that talent and like ability is inherent. That so if you have it, you always have it, or if you don't have it, you can't learn it, and that really fucks people up for later.
I would rather work.
Yeah.
Any talent.
You actually have to work, like you. This is what
I know, it's wild too. I learned that eventually. Wow.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like you have to work more because you have to work against it at some point. Because you get fucked up by just having this natural ability thing. Yeah, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
And then you go out to the wider world and it turns out, wow, there's a lot of guys like me, but they actually know how to work.
Sure, yeah.
So,
And now you have to work double as hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we're fucking meeting up every other day, focus on comedy. Because if we're just left to our own devices, we'll just jerk off. Let's face it.
No, yeah, I always need some kind of like real motivator as well. I like deadlines and dates.
Yeah.
So,
I hate deadlines and dates.
No, I mean I hate them too, but they motivate me to do, because if it's just me and I'm like,
the thing the word you're looking for is force.
yeah,
Yes,
basically,
pressure.
I guess. It's funny, like I wonder about that sometimes, because even fairly recently, my mom told me, it was like, oh, you probably needed more discipline when you were a kid, and that maybe that might be true.
When did she tell you that?
Well, you know, she's having, you know, middle-aged second thoughts about raising her children, whatever. And
Hey, maybe I fucked you up.
Yeah, yeah, and oh, that's a fact. I think she knows that. It's just a matter of how, yeah. But you know, everybody thinks about past mistakes, I guess. But she just randomly mentioned it, and I was like, no, absolutely, I totally disagree. But maybe at some point, you know,
My
would have
mom
been right.
only found out how like complicated the world is when I left home.
Yeah,
because like when my sister went to university and they had to do all these papers, all these forms, all these student loans and everything, she was like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that you did all of that for me. I never knew this was so complicated. I literally just bring my mum. She'd be like, sign here. And my sister's a retard. So now they had to discover how to do all of that. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Wait, you were doing
everything.
like,
since I was like that stereotypical immigrant kid where your parents don't speak that great the language.
Yeah.
Just do everything for
I
them.
forgot about
11.
the language barrier. Sure, yeah.
Mm.
No, that always surprises me too. Is like that people can live somewhere for so long without. I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me, especially if you live in a tight-knit immigrant community. But it's amazing to me that somebody can not learn English and like live in New York for 30 years or so. I know those people, and it's always funny to me is like when they talk about immigrants, they're always talking about here. They're talking about, you know, people from the Middle East or whatever. They don't assimilate. They don't learn the language. And it's like, yeah, I know Zdenek from fucking Chicago. He still does not speak a lick of English to this day, and he has a job and all that. Like, how are you complaining about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could...
My dad thinks he speaks English, so that's good enough.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's confidence. That's a good part of learning.
You need that as an immigrant. You need to be
speak,
confident. Yeah. My parents were immigrants, but luckily for us, in the Middle East, we basically all speak the same language.
Yeah,
so we don't have the same kind of...
get by with Arabic? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the kind of the same thing in Europe, where there's, I don't know, hundreds of languages between people themselves.
Well, yeah,
and when they immigrate, they have
yeah.
like that language barrier.
Yeah.
We don't. We kind of have, but it's a kind of a accent or dialect barrier more than the actual language. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like certain words would mean different
words for sand detergent.
Exactly. Yeah,
detergent,
yeah.
Clean sand. What country did they move to? This was before you were born, or?
Yeah, so they moved. No, after I was basically they moved before I was born. So I'm Syrian, and I was born in Syria, and both of my parents are Syrian, but they moved to Saudi Arabia because of my father's work or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it was better financially for us to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But we never planned to stay there forever. We were like, oh, we'll just stay there until like our children will become in high school or something, and then we will move and leave the country. Well, guess what? I graduated high school, and the actual country, the motherland, it got like a war crisis. Yeah, so now we can't move back.
You can't really
so we're stuck.
Back.
And in the land that we are in, which is Saudi Arabia, they don't give you the nationality.
Right, yeah.
So we're basically foreigners for all of my life.
Forever.
Yeah, and right now, if I want to go back, I need to actually, I need to register like a tourist visa.
Uh-huh.
So it's, so we were like, the best scenario is to leave is Europe.
Yeah.
And that's where like, no more Middle East. Let's just go to Europe, guys. Mm-hmm. This is the new Middle East. I think Europe is the new Middle East. Germany, Exhibit A. And there's a lot of places in Germany that just like Arab neighborhoods. In France,
no-go zones.
Yeah, I don't know why though. We are very friendly.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of that is true and how much of it is fucking like
propaganda.
It's like this. Probably in some cases it might be 50-50. So, in most cases, I would say it's probably a lot of bullshit. But you know,
yeah.
Because of course, if you have a poor neighborhood full of immigrants who are maybe don't have full rights or don't have legal work permits, that neighborhood is going to be worse than some other neighborhood.
It was already bad,
yeah.
And when these people came in, they were ambitious.
Yeah.
So ambition with bad makes
it's
everything
a good
worse.
thing that like the only argument that right-wing racist people can find against immigrants is like they live together.
That's pretty funny. It's funny. It's like depending on the group, people will use that even in a positive sense because like. If they talk about Arabs, in Poland they might say, "Oh, they don't assimilate" or whatever. But like if in the U.S., it'd be like, "Oh, all the Chinese people live together," and that's why they have prospering businesses and all this other shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's just about whether you open cafes or not. That's all assimilation is. When you start opening the artisan bakeries, you're fine.
Yeah.
Are cafes like the European kebabs shops?
What?
Like, you know how wherever there's a kebab shop.
Yeah.
And wherever there are Middle Easterns, there is a kebab shop.
Sure.
So is cafe like the equivalent for like white people's kebab places, shops?
I guess it depends where.
That makes sense.
I don't think cafes were a big thing in Poland for a while because like
it's not a European thing.
We have coffee at home.
No, it is. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, first of all, until like the late 80s, you couldn't even get good coffee. Or it was hard to get. It was like kind of a luxury item, I would say,
Everything
right?
was a fucking luxury
Everything
item.
was.
I have an auntie. I went back to see her about... Last time I went, 2 or 3 years ago. And I was just there for a sec. I was like, Auntie, let's go. I'll take you to a nice restaurant, to the best restaurant in the city, which is not a big city, so it's not a big achievement. We'll have a nice meal, whatever. She's like, restaurant? But why? Why? We can just cook at home. Don't worry, I'll make you something. I'll make you whatever you want. You can cook at home.
Sure.
Restaurant? Why would we waste money? Like, this woman's 65 years old. She's never been to a restaurant. Like, just
that
to
makes sense.
Really,
for a
never.
meal. No, well, obviously
But
for
not-
weddings and bullshit.
Yeah, rarely.
But just on a random Tuesday.
Sure, yeah.
It's not a thing.
Yeah, a lot of those things like fucking espressos and brunches and all that shit, that definitely came over with capitalism.
It wasn't common with communist Europe. Like the communist part of Europe, it wasn't.
I mean, people would hang out, but I think they'd probably drink or drink tea. They drink tea and vodka, I would say. It was the
tea and vodka, that's the...
Not together. I would just say those were the main beverages.
It's the minty vodka. It's good with tea.
They were the popular beverages. Like if you want to get fucked up, you wouldn't drink beer because it'd be too expensive or something. So it probably wasn't that good. So I don't know. I don't think we have the culture of cafes like the French do or whatever, or we didn't. We may now. But half of it is fucking Starbucks and Nero. Fuck those places. I don't know.
That's what I started doing in Budapest, Gaweł. I started getting up in the morning and going to Starbucks with my laptop to work.
Oh, no.
In a fucking week abroad, I've done more work than I did in
Really?
3 weeks at
No
home.
way. Wow, it actually is
I don't
productive.
like
Because I
that
can't
shit.
jerk off. I can't play Counter-Strike in Starbucks. Like,
You can. Well, maybe the second thing. No, but
it really saved me.
No, it makes sense. I don't really like those places, so I can't concentrate very well. But sure, any kind of like getting out of the house or something is good. Yeah, I guess.
I can't think outside of the house.
No, it's very distracting for me. I people
me too.
watch. I do everything but like concentrate on what I'm supposed to do.
I do that at home.
Yeah. All right, we should do one more bit and finish with a laugh or something, and then I think we
It's
can
great
wrap
that
it.
we never introduced ourselves or
I
talked
know.
Yeah,
about what we
we're like
do,
the ghosts
show.
of-
We just started talking about fucking gays in concentration camps, cheering it up a bit and shit like that.
No, I actually like that. If there's like stuff that you guys want to say or plug, you can either say it now and I'll recut it into the thing, or I'll just make an intro with whatever you want me to say.
I
Like,
can make an intro of whatever we want you to say, but let's still talk about it because it's it's
Okay.
about comedy.
It is about comedy.
no, fuck that. I don't care. I just want funny.
Fuck comedy, bro.
I just want funny stuff. I don't want to talk about comedy. It's boring. Like we can talk about that for 5 minutes, and then after a while, it's like, meh. What can you say about comedy that is interesting?
Dude, we're gonna change this shit in Poland.
Oh, okay, if you're gonna say that shit, then just be quiet now.
We're gonna change the game. Gaweł, I've seen it all.
I'm gonna up the game.
No, you know what? I have a guest. I have an episode with this one guy who was very. The whole conversation was kind of like he lost a lot of weight and he was making these big changes in his life and like all this stuff that he was planning. He was like really into. What's that? McGregor? What's that guy's name?
Conor McGregor.
Conor
the
McGregor.
Irish,
Yeah, he's like into that motivational shit, I guess, or whatever. I'm just giving you a general
the
idea.
Wolf and the Warrior.
He had just changed his whole life, and he was talking about how he's gonna put out a great special, or like you're gonna hear about me. And guess what? I never heard of from him again.
Who was it?
It doesn't matter. It's just like
never released.
Never.
No, it's like I haven't seen him on stage in years. So.
Okay.
So maybe just do
Just
instead of talking.
Yeah.
No. We're definitely going to be doing English. Keep doing English comedy, which is part of the reason why I want to start recording these in English. It's a fucking pain in the ass to do technically, but that's another story.
Yeah,
but this is nice.
Yeah. No,
People start asking us if we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Which was just like Pete. That's like the first thing people ask now. Yeah, you guys are so great.
Yeah.
Do you have a podcast? I'm like.
What?
You
That's
really
funny,
want to listen to my voice at home? Like, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah, I think
I
you
would
guys.
listen to your voice if I wanted to concentrate.
Why?
Because you have that voice that kind of reminds me of
The British oppressor.
Correct. You're very right.
Motivates you to do things. It's like,
Motivates-
I must
Yeah.
sit up straight.
Sit up straight, but then
No, Dave doesn't have that typical like BBC fucking hoity-toity shit. Like
Received
it's-
pronunciation.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it's called.
I could, if I listened to it for 2 minutes, I could do it, but I forget
for
what
sure.
it's like because I haven't watched British TV in so long.
you got
This is
David
BBC
Attenborough's
too.
kind of
What?
vibe. David
Do I?
Attenborough's.
That I whisper with some
Oh.
emotion.
No, he doesn't whisper with emotion, does he?
Yeah,
He speaks fairly softly, right?
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh wait, no, you said Attenborough, like the
Edinburgh.
I
Nature
was
guy.
thinking of somebody
The
else.
nature,
Yeah,
the nature guy.
I can't do him. It used to be like one of the most played out impressions in the UK. I
Yeah,
bet. Yeah,
of course,
everybody
yeah.
did him.
Yeah, fuck that.
Because all you got to do is
Terrible
like
impressions.
all you got to do is do his voice describing nature, but describing something else. So like
Yeah.
human sexual behavior. The two.
Yeah, oh my god, so played
But
out.
female.
So played out.
I want to do a bit about how because I have just saw like Our Planet series on Netflix,
Yeah.
and I was very motivated by it. I want to make it about races, so like human races.
Okay.
We're just
One
narrate.
project I won't take part in. Yeah, cancel.
Yeah,
get my
it's-
white card cancelled
We'll give
and
you
shit.
we'll
Yeah,
give you
my
a
butt-
Chinese name. It's okay.
My
no,
butt
no, no.
clenched immediately when you
Yeah.
said racist. I was like, I don't know. Should I leave?
My face shouldn't be in the.
Yeah.
Ah,
No, that's. I mean, talking about racism is always, I think, funny and interesting. But then at the same time, it's like, I don't know why perpetuate. It's like I don't want to perpetuate this bullshit that is kind of made up.
Perpetuates
But at the
itself,
same
which is
time,
It's a
yeah,
parody.
it's like it's not gonna. It's not going to disappear on its own. So
perpetuate itself with you or without you, but can you laugh at it?
True.
no, absolutely. I'm just saying, like when you start talking about racism, you have to divide people up into races automatically, and it's kind of bullshit. Like the same way I was asking you what brown means. Like, it's,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, fucking all that skin tone shit is just. I've you know, there's a I don't know if you've ever heard it, but an obvious. Talked about it on stage, for example. I'm sure you know there's a really offensive word that people just use in Poland for anybody.
Chapaty.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
any
fucking grinds my
generally anybody from the Middle East or whatever. And my friend who's Polish got called that in the store just because he has dark hair, maybe just slightly darker skin tone, but he has dark hair and like maybe darker eyes. And some motherfucker in the shop guy was like, you know, why are you hanging out with this fuck? You know, it's like,
Oh fuck!
I didn't even know what to say. Just to,
I had two racist occasions.
holidays,
Yeah. I was
two racist celebrations.
I was working in this kebab place, of course,
Yeah.
and I was.
Well, there's your problem right
Yeah,
there.
that's-
Find a real job.
And I was at the ice cream alley.
Okay.
I was delivering ice creams in a very stereotypical Syrian culture traditional costume that my Syrian manager was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. He was like, Badr, I got you this very traditional Syrian costume I need you to wear. And I was like, is this okay? And he was like, yeah, it's okay. You know what? Dress up and I will send pictures to your family. Anyways, I dressed it up and I went to this delivering lode to Polish fucks. No, fucks. But I was delivering them and I was like, no, co chcesz? Waniliowe, czekoladowe, karmelowe, ale co chcesz? And then I'm just talking with people. I'd be like, gotówkę albo kartą. Gotówkę, okay, 5 złotych, proszę. And then I'm having these transactions, and I see on my left there was like a table, and there's these Polish people, like they came from like a corporate business office, and they were just talking about. One of them yelled at me, "Hey, falafel, hey, falafel!" And I was like, I looked at him, and I completely.
We don't have that taste. We don't have that flavor.
I completely ignored him, and he was like, "Oh, falafel, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you."
Yeah.
And I completely ignored him.
Sure.
And until like one of his friends came close to my like ice cream cart, and he was like, "I'm so sorry about my friend. You know, he gets crazy sometimes.
He gets excited.
He gets excited and crazy sometimes." And I was like, "Get away! Don't touch it! Don't touch the cart! Don't move
touch
away!
my ice
Don't
cream.
touch my don't touch my Carmelove and Chocolatove! Okay, go away! Each!" And then he was like, they just left completely. They were like, let's go annoy other people. This is one of the scenarios that I had.
I'm kind of glad that you told the apologist to fuck off as well. I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
My feelings are hurt. Fuck you.
But like the second situation, I literally just finished my 8 hours shift at this kebab place, and I was working in front of the kebab.
Cutting the meat.
So I smell like meat.
Sure.
And it was like 3 a.m. So it was like prime time for like drunks and alcoholics. So I get out of the shop and I walk my ass to the bus station and I'm waiting for the bus. And I see this Polish guy, he's completely wasted. He's drunk. And he looks at me, he's like, "Hey, I love you. Don't worry. I don't hurt you. I'm friendly. He was like, where you from? And I was like, well, where are you from? He was like, I'm from Poland. Where are you from? I was like, you can guess. And he leaned forward to me, and he just smelled me, you know?
Jesus.
Took a whiff, and I was like, I cannot believe this. This is the most racist thing someone ever done to me. And he was like, I know where you're from. Where do you work? And I was like, guess. And he took another whiff, and he was like, I was like, what the fuck, man? Get away from me.
God.
And he was like, you work in kebab. And I was like, how did you know? And he was like, you smell like kebab. And I was like, oh shit, I just finished my shift. I probably do smell like kebab. And that's how I turned. I wish that he was actually racist, but he was just like...
I was probably happy to shirt you away.
Yeah, literally.
Still wearing the uniform.
Mohammed and Dzień dobry next to it.
Yeah. No, he probably was racist, but he was also right in this case. So it's like...
Are you racist if you're right?
And I don't think so, no.
No.
That's
really funny, though.
That's why I hate doing impressions. Because if you do an impression, it's funny, but if you fail, it's racist.
How about you not do racist impressions?
Every impression is racist. It is based on a stereotype that people can identify and be like, yeah, that's that kind of person.
No, that's true. I guess a lot of the times you could also do impressions of white people. That is an option. You don't have to go, ting tong.
Oh shit, man! Sorry, I'm gonna practice my white impressions now. Oh, the fuck you! It was you. Oh, is the fucking bit about China coronavirus that he did the Chinese. Oh.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like that's the default. Pseudo Asian voice is the easiest to go to, and also the easiest to get away with. I feel like is So
Asians are not that strict about us being racist against them. I guess.
I don't think. I don't think they have as many support groups or whatever you want to
I
call
don't
it.
think they have the fucking physical presence to do anything about it.
Speaking of racism, well, that's probably.
Let's just dig deep into racism.
Yeah. Let's keep going. No, that might be true in some part. I don't know. In the U.S., they're like held out as the model minority as well, which is a whole nother kind of level of prejudice and stuff. Whereas, like,
it's racist calling them a minority, right?
No, it's not about their height. It's about, they're like, see, why can't you guys be like, Asians, the Chinese, like they're good at math, they do well academically, they have significant wealth or whatever, or like, higher median income than say black people or whatever. Yeah. So, and they just, clench their teeth and bear the racism quietly. That's that's what we really want. Yeah.
Why don't you stop complaining?
It is in their culture to suppress, I think, your feeling and your opinions. Keep them to yourself, and always, listen to your elderly.
Yeah. I guess that might be true for Japanese and Chinese people. I have no idea. But as soon as like they're second generation, I don't think that flies anymore. So that's like why a lot of people, Asian Americans, are pissed off now. Yeah. Let's talk more about things that I don't have no clue. At least we have one foreign guy. We could pretend like this is a diverse podcast.
Yo, real question. What was the first time you realized what racism was?
I don't know. For me, it was.
Do you remember the occasion?
I think so. I mean, I guess if you're saying about talking about the real, really being aware of what it is systemically and how widespread, then probably 10 years ago.
Proves my point.
No, okay.
Just on the bus. Yeah. Oh shit!
And my friend Jihad.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's probably not more than 15 years ago. I would say when I was living in the U.S. and I started to be aware of things that I wasn't when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But as far as the basic stuff, well, that was early on because I called one kid. I tried to do a story on stage about it. I'm not done with it yet, but I called one kid a Mexican, which is really, I thought it's funny now because it was that was my go-to. Yeah, it was I was so shit. I was already aware that being Mexican is somehow. This is in Texas, you got to remember. This is somehow considered worse. So, I decided to call him that, but I didn't even know, any better racial slurs.
Same.
So I just called him a Mexican. But I immediately knew I fucked up, not least because of the reaction of people, but I knew I was doing something wrong.
Was he Mexican,
I didn't really, he was.
He was Mexican, so you were a fact.
You were right.
I was just stating a fact, but, obviously in trying to insult him.
Demeaning manner.
And, he got upset, rightfully so, but it's so funny. It's all I did was angrily call him a Mexican, and that was really enough to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand the full implications of everything, because especially if you live in certain parts of the U.S. or whatever, it's easy to be kind of isolated from that,
We had kind of the same thing in Saudi Arabia, because the lower class, not the low, but the lowest classes would be immigrants from brown Asian country, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the appropriate term, but whatever.
Sure.
It's Indians and Pakistanis and Afghanis and whatever. So when they go to Saudi Arabia, they get the worst treatment ever.
Yeah. And
they would, if you want to call someone an idiot, it was a fashion where you called them, for example, an Indian or a Pakistani. It's what are you, an Indian? And one time, I was in school in my class, and most of my friends were just stupid, and they were like, "Oh, what do you think? I'm an Indian," and I just because I'm in that environment, so I kind of took it with me home.
Sure.
And when I got home, I told my brother he was doing something stupid. He was like, "What are you, an Indian?" Or I did something stupid. He was like, "Oh, what do you think? I'm an Indian?" And my mother heard me say that, and she was like, "What did you say?" I was like, "An Indian."
Nothing.
She was like, "Don't you ever say that again.
Yeah.
This is the meaning. What do you think? Indians are just like other people.
Yeah.
We're all the same. They're even more brilliant than your dumbass. Stop calling yourself Indian in demeaning manner." And I was like, "Mom, the other day we fucking called black people like the N-word." I swear, we were like watching a documentary on
with
the
your
U.S.
parents?
and African Americans, and my father was like, "Oh, this race, the Negro race, because there's Caucasians and
Sure.
what was like the scientific term?"
I don't know.
None of the ones you use.
Yeah, you don't use them anymore. Like
Yeah, but like what they used to use. So they were like, they just said the N-word basically, and I was like, what about that, guys? Like if this, and she was like, "Yeah, okay, well that was bad on him. We're gonna stop doing that ever again."
Well, no, I mean, Negro is just really archaic and like it's still bad. I would argue, but it's not quite the same as the N-word.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quite the same.
It's
but
just I could definitely see some people saying that, maybe like especially from a Latin country or something where they might, maybe that word is still familiar. I don't know. Yeah,
I remember when I was a kid in Warsaw, there was 75,000 people. One black man, just one.
Token black guy.
And he was a doctor.
Yeah.
And everyone was scared of him. Like, no, my grandma was...
They didn't want to go see
him. He was
him?
some kind of specialist, like one of the only ones in the city, but my grandma... Don't go for that.
No, I'd rather die.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't want him to touch me. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, when I was like 6, 7 years old, I was like, what is that about? Like, was he going to leave marks? I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Nobody explained the world to me then, but I kind of just instinctively knew, like, there's some bullshit.
Some bullshit here, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the first time you encounter racism is definitely early on when I heard jokes. I would say that's the first time, is like jokes about black people, jokes about Jews. That was very early on, but I didn't have awareness of it then.
Jews. Don't worry about that.
No, everybody did. Like my whole elementary school, like I heard dozens of them, and they were all horrible. Like usually they weren't very funny either. But I had little awareness of it at the time, I guess. I mean, I still knew it wasn't good, because it's like how good can making fun of the Holocaust be? But in joke form, that's you're not being very creative with it.
We have passed the statute of too soon limitations now.
Absolutely. No, but it's like literally jokes about people in Jews in camps. So it's like, usually they weren't very good jokes. That's really the problem. They just weren't funny enough.
Yeah, we didn't have these jokes though.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, obviously, because like,
who were your Jews?
Other Arabs.
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia or
literally, in Saudi Arabia it was, as I said, like
the
Indians
immigrants,
and Pakistanis and Egyptian, like any foreigner who wasn't actually Saudi Arabian.
Yeah.
So you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are you, a Syrian?
Syrians actually was where if you have a Syrian in your class, that would be like the most brilliant genius immigrant there is. Because
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I ain't going back, son.
And I wasn't part of that group apparently. Like, because I was in an international school, and in public schools Syrians were the best, and international schools Syrians were lazy. So when I meet like a Syrian in a public school, he would be very brilliant. He would do like manage business of his family's business and stuff, like
at 8 years old.
Yeah, at like 8 years old. Meanwhile, me fucking pooping my pants,
Go for the
poo-poo.
So you guys have, I guess we have a show coming up. Which one is earliest, soonest?
It's 3 shows in one day. So we're gonna.
Oh, it's 3 now.
It's
Jesus,
3 in
okay.
one day. So it's 2 showcases. We're gonna do the stand-up bit twice. We're gonna have a guy record his material for like release. So it'll be Damian Skóra recording his full set.
Oh, okay.
Because he wants to, get into English and he wants to have something to, show.
Sure.
So that should be cool, and we're gonna do that twice because last time we had when you did it, we had such demand. We had to like send 20 people home or something that came to buy tickets on the door because I forgot to put a post up saying sold out. I was so excited. I was like, yo, we sold out.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then they post it's saying sold out. So 20 people had to be sent home. It was full, like the full, whatever, 65 or 70 people came. And some people came, some girls like begged us on the door, like, let us in, we'll just stand. It'll be fine. And they did. They stood for like 3 hours, had a great time. So now we're going to do that twice, and we're going to do it downstairs. But we're going to have like...
At Boho, in Żurawia,
Żurawia. And have like a full kind of comedy club experience where it's played upstairs on the TV, and then you can go get a drink and still watch the show, listen to the show, miss nothing.
Yeah.
And then, so we're going to do that twice, 7 till 9, 9:15 till 11:15. And then 11:30 we're doing the late show, which is where you come in.
The panel show, yeah.
Well, yeah. So we're going to have 2 teams of 4, Warsaw and Kraków. I think you're going to host this time.
No, I can host it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
I'll
going to be the
host
fucking game master, the boss.
All right.
And we're going to have 2 teams. We're going to have, 2 teams of 4, Warsaw and Kraków. And we're going to do some like fun games where jokes are the only objective. And record that whole shit. Put the whole fucking thing up. And that should be really, really fun. And so far there's a lot of interest because I haven't really advertised like the late show, the game show at all, pretty much. All the posts I put up are about the stand-up show. But every single ticket people buy is for both shows.
Oh.
Because we did like each show is 40 Z's, but for the double ticket for the showcase and the late show is 60. So everyone's been buying those. So we're going to have a full house for the game. So that should be good. That should be really fun.
So wait, if you buy a ticket, you could go to both shows?
If you buy the 60s water ticket,
if you buy
you go to one of the stand-up shows and the late show.
I see.
But if you want to go to any single one of them, it's 40.
I see. Okay.
So people are really coming for a full night of comedy. And it should be very, very interesting and fun.
It's a game changer.
It should be a bit of a game changer because there's nothing like it. And material's super good.
Yeah.
It's fun if you're a comedian. But how long can you entertain people for? People now want this new stuff, and like people come to one show with us, they're like, do you have a podcast? Like that's a fucking expectation.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess so, yeah.
Weird.
Well, you guys are welcome anytime until you set up your own podcast. So after that, fuck you.
After that, we're competition.
Yeah. But until then.
Yeah.
All right, my guests were David Rygielski, Big Dave Rygielski, and Badr Laffar. And thank you very much. I don't think anybody cares or listens to this end part, but that's... don't worry, you guys. Everybody's going to know what your names are. I'm going to include your full contact details and your parents' names as well.
No, please, keep my parents away from this. This is a life and death situation, okay? You don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I'll make an exception. All right. Thanks.
Hello, Papa, fast to Germany.